How y'all doing? This is Rob Barnum, aka Preacher Man R&B, in this another episode of Richard TV 91. This time I'm doing another episode of Thanksgiving Classics. This time I'm reviewing Pocahontas. What Pocahontas is about Pocahontas and John Smith. And what happens is John Smith and a crew of sailors from England come into the Virginian territory before it's Virginia. And John Smith meets Pocahontas, and they start getting closer and closer to each other and start kind of making a relationship or whatever. And the tensions between the English and Pocahontas's tribe is flaring up because the Indians, thinking the English settlers are trying to take over their land, and the English settlers are thinking the Indians are trying to get them off to protect their gold or whatever. Intentions are bowling, and John Smith and Pocahontas get closer in this movie. And what happens is Kocoum, the man that Pocahontas is betrothed to, comes to Pocahontas and attacks John Smith and is about to try to kill John Smith. But Thomas, one of John Smith's friends, shoots Kocoum and kills him. And John Smith tells Thomas to get out of there before the rest of the Indians come, and they capture John Smith. And this big war is about to happen between the English and the Indians. And what happens is Pocahontas stops her father right before he's about to execute John Smith, and Pocahontas' father tells him that he will not kill John Smith and he wants to have peace with the English. And the governor of the English tries to shoot the Indian chief, and John Smith jumps in the way of the bullet and gets shot. And then the English settlers imprison the governor and is taking him back to England. And John Smith has to go back to England because if he don't, he could die. And he asks Pocahontas to go with him, but she has to stay there with her people. And John Smith goes back to England, and Pocahontas stays there with her people and the other English settlers that stayed in the New World. And that's all that really happened in this movie. If y'all have ever watched Pocahontas, what y'all like about it? As always, Preacher Man R&B signing out, guys. GG's awesome. It's been an episode of Richard TV 91. See y'all next time.